Hello and welcome to Vectura Maintenance. I am Inside Service Technician Jacob Wolf. I will be your instructor today. First, we're going to start with replacing the drive unit. Initial situation, belt conveyors are connected to each other. Caution, disconnect the belt conveyor from the mains voltage before carrying out any work on any of the belt conveyors. Always make sure your system is powered down for doing the work. Step 1, release the connection. Release a plug connection to the light barrier at the end of the belt conveyor. Dismantle the screws of the connecting strap between the belt conveyors on the side of the tensioning station completely. That little metal plate there that connects the two conveyors. Next, loosen the clamping screws. Make sure you solder both sides parallel to each other so that tensioning station does not get wedged. After completely disassembling the two clamping screws, you can push the tensioning station into the base frame as far as it will go to maximally relax the belt. Belt can now be moved flexibly. Belt can be lifted about 31 centimeters. Solder the two rounded fledged hand screws of the cover at the drive station. Next, loosen the four sliding block connections to release the tension of the tooth belt. Make sure that you only loosen the screws of the sliding blocks and do not completely dismantle them so that you can push the motor with the drive shaft upwards and hold it in the upper position. Now you can completely loosen the four screws of the sliding block connection. Make sure the motor is held by another person. If it is not, it will fall right out. Next, loosen the three screws between the drive station and the base frame. These screws are located on the underside of the belt conveyor, so you have to reach down underneath. To do this, pull the belt downwards to expose the screw connections. Connections are positioned 90 degrees to the running direction of the belt. Finally, loosen the last two screws from the side of the drive unit. There is one screw on each side, usually underneath the light barrier. Make sure that during this step, the drive shaft or drive unit is held by another employee so the drive station does not fall down. Again, it will fall straight down. The belt will catch it, but it could end up damaging the belt. Now the drive station, which is only held by the belt, can be removed and replaced. And to install a new drive unit, just repeat those steps backwards. Next, we'll cover changing a frequency converter at the control cabinet on the Vectura conveyors. Caution, disconnect the belt conveyor from the mains voltage before carrying out any work on any of the belt conveyors. Always make sure your system is powered down. Check the labeling on the wires, label if necessary, disconnect the wires. Loosen the strain relief unit and carefully remove the screw. Move the cable with the strain relief unit to the side. Disconnect the power link plug from the option box. Release the option box by pressing the release lever and then remove it. It has that little lever you push down and pull out. You might have to wiggle it a little bit. Sometimes they're a little tight fit. Loosen the plug for the motor connection and pull it off. Loosen the fastening screws under the motor connection. Loosen the lock nut. Next, screw on two normal nuts and counter each other. Then you loosen the spacer bolt with a socket wrench. Place the old FC with the new FC. It'll take about an hour to do all of this. And to install the new frequency converter, just do everything in reverse. Then with your new frequency converter installed, you'll have to set the address so that way the PLC can talk to it and give it the parameters that it needs. And you see these instructions here on the left-hand side. These instructions will be at the front of your Vectura cabinet electrical schematic, giving you on where you need to go. And then also in the schematic, you'll have this list right here showing you what the address for the conveyor should be. So here on the left, you see GF1, machine number, Ethernet power link node number 1. Conveyor 1 should have the address of 1. On the right side, you see SPU1, machine number, Ethernet power link node number 51. So SPU1 should have an address of 51. If these are not set correctly, the PLC will not be able to talk to them. Activating setup mode on the Vectura system. This is an emergency mode to run the conveyors if you need to. These instructions will also be in the electrical schematic for the Vectura cabinet. Keep in mind, this is only for emergency mode. You will not have many safeties at all. Emergency operation can only be activated when the drawer is open. Main switching input terminal's frequency converter can be activated under voltage. Tension, danger to life, unforeseen movements. Activating emergency mode can cause a belt startup suddenly. You will lose all commands via the bus or the controller. The emergency stop for that e-stop string will not be active, and most of the monitoring of the frequency converter is deactivated. And instructions for emergency mode on how to adjust the speed and then how to exit it. Maintenance and service. This will also be in your operating manual for your Vectura cabinet or the operating manual for the conveyors. You see here it's broken down daily, 1,000 operating hours or as required. Same with your sorting pushers, also be in the operating manual, broken down daily, weekly, 1,000 operating hours. Clean and check, visual check, maintenance work. On your belt rollers, other components, check belts for soiling and foreign objects, check belt tension, check the conveyor belt tension to prevent it from slipping. Visual check of housing bearings and drive drums, check bearings and drive drums for noise and damage. Drums and gear motor, check oil level and for leaks. Tooth belt tension, check timing belt for wear. Complete maintenance, depending on operational man, carry out the complete maintenance work on the conveyor. Tooth belt tension, we have two ways of measuring the tooth belt tension. One is frequency measuring with the frequency measuring tool. So you'll slightly tension the belt, then you'll hit the belt either using your finger or a tool and place the head of the measuring tool onto the belt, read the frequency, adjust as needed till you get the correct frequency, then run for about 3 hours and check again, see if it needs to be readjusted. The other way of tensioning a belt is by fitting stretch, where you'll make 2 marks of a measurement of 1, then you'll stretch the belt, and then when the measurement of the new marks after stretching is 0.6% past the original measurement, and you'll be good to go. Run it for 3 hours, check again. Conveyor belt cleaning and disinfection. Clean and disinfect the conveyor belt at regular intervals or when it is soiled. Observe the hygienic requirements valid for your company. Only use cleaning agents and disinfectants based on alcohol to prevent maceration of the conveyor belts. Screw tightening torque. So whenever you have to do maintenance on these conveyors or the pushers, there will be a list in the operating manual for the Vectura cabinet or the conveyors themselves, a list on what the torque should be. Wear parts, spare parts. Never hurts to have extra spare parts on hand. Some good ones to have for Vectura would be extra inverter, extra sensors, extra sensor wire. Thank you for listening.